O East is East, and West is West, and never the twain shall meet, till earth and sky stand presently at God's great judgment seat. But there is neither East nor West, border nor breed nor birth, when two strong men stand face to face, though they come from the ends of the earth.
(1893), Swami Vivekananda travels to the United States to attend the World Parliament of Religions. 1894, Meheru Irani, later to be known as Avatar Meher Baba, is born in Poona, India. 1914, Hazrat Inayat Khan charters the Sufi Order of the West in London, England. 1931,
my object in coming to the West is intended to make people understand religion in its true sense.
Meher Baba travels to the West for the first time, visiting England and America. 1932 to 1937, Meher Baba visits Europe 10 times, America 3 times, China and the Far East. 1937.
I intend to bring together all religions and cults like beads on one string.
Meher Baba invites his Western lovers to live at his ashram in Nasik, India. 1952, 1956, and 1958, Meher Baba travels to America 3 times and Australia twice.
It is a coming together of East and West in the house of their Father.
In July of 1956, at the Meher Center in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, Don Stevens read out a message from Baba announcing the upcoming East-West gathering to be held after February the 15th, 1957.
When he completes the remainder of his seclusion, the next 5 months, then on February 15th, of 1957, he will come from seclusion and have a very large meeting in India. He will invite saints and other group heads and others of his followers in India to come to this great meeting. He will invite people from the West to come to this meeting.
With the planned meeting only a few months away, Meher Baba was involved in a serious car accident near Satara, India, on December the 2nd, 1956. He broke his right hip, leaving him unable to walk, and his proposed 1957 East-West meeting was cancelled. 1 year later, as Baba recovered, he again planned to hold a large gathering of those from both East and West at Guru Prasad in Poona. But Baba's continued health problems, resulting from the accident, again forced him to change his plans and instead to hold separate gatherings, one in India for the Easterners in February 1958, and a trip to America and Australia for the Westerners in May and June of the same year. The idea of the joint East-West gathering seemed to be dropped in the intervening years, but then in 1961, Baba again decided to arrange for a 7-day combined East-West Sahavas in May 1962. Preparations to make the necessary arrangements to find lodging for the 5,000 invited lovers from all over the world began, and Baba lovers were notified through circulars and family letters of the upcoming event. Baba then moved the gathering to November 1962 and reduced it from 7 days to 4. Finally, it was fixed. The long-awaited East-West gathering would be held from the 1st to the 4th of November 1962. In a circular sent out on September the 20th, 1962, Baba stated, "This November gathering will be uniquely different from any of the past Sahavasis or darshans, and therefore any expectations, other than just being in my presence, would be an intrusion into the atmosphere that I desire, and would cause the person thus intruding to lose the real benefit of being in my presence." However, Baba's health wasn't at all good at the end of October 1962, and as the time for his long-awaited East-West gathering approached, Erich requested that Baba postpone it once again.
Baba was here at Merazad. He would be lying down and suddenly his body would have a convulsive jerk and it would sort of get lifted up. And towards the end of October, Baba started to get fever and the jerks began to increase. Baba's condition was getting more and more acute. And Erich was telling Baba, why not cancel the Savas? We can postpone it and your health doesn't seem to be too good. Baba said, no, don't ever talk of postponing it. I must have it, and this, the time that I fixed, it should be on that day. Baba then fixed the time of departure to Poona, and he came about 10 days prior to the function. And Baba would come and sit in the Mandli hall with his head drooped on his chest like this, and Baba appeared totally exhausted. He was doing very high-powered work, it seems. Because, just at that time, that two big crises came along in the world. In the West, there was the Cuban Missile Crisis, as it is known now.
Good evening, my fellow citizens. This government, as promised, has maintained the closest surveillance of the Soviet military buildup on the island of Cuba.
And in the East, the Chinese have started to threaten the Indian side by amassing a huge army on the borders.
There are not many instances in history where one country, that is India, has gone out of her way to be friendly and cooperative with the Chinese government and people, and then for the Chinese government to return evil for good and even go to the extent of committing aggression and invade our sacred land.
So there were these two crises brewing, and it seemed that Baba was working very intensely with all that. So he would be withdrawn when he came to see us, not take much interest in what was going on. And then he would say, I want to go back and lie down. So he had to be assisted up, I still remember. And two of the Mandli would literally support him while he just staggered to the door. And a wheelchair was there where Kaver and others were there to escort Baba to his bedroom on the east side. every day we would watch this. And as the days approached, he was getting more and more feeble. There was hardly any color on his face. He looked very pale, almost ashen hue. And he looked extremely withdrawn, as if he was doing something on his own.
On the top of the hill stands the king's castle. Leaning up towards it are battalions of flowers weeping. For the king is in the dungeon sleeping. On the top of the hill, the castle seems to be dreaming. Dreaming of the king's past lordship and his future glory. When in each heart is sung his matchless story. On the top of the hill, the castle sparkles like a jewel. Its dream and the flower's grief is broken. For the king is preparing to speak the word that is to be spoken.
One day, he just suddenly looked up, and we were all sitting there, and I remember he looked around and he seemed to be feeling quite well all of a sudden. And a big change we could see just right in front of us. And Baba brightened up. That day he got up without much support and walked his way to the door and went back to his room.
I went by way of Lebanon to see my family, and there I had the privilege of meeting Crown Prince Faisal, the son of Abdulaziz of Arabia. I accompanied my father to the suite where he was staying at the St. George Hotel in Beirut. During our audience, one of the prince's men would often come into the room and whisper something in his ear. The prince would nod and carry on with his conversation. After one such whispered message, Prince Faisal turned and said, "The Russians have turned back." It was the critical moment of the Cuban Missile Crisis that brought us to the brink of nuclear war, and at the same time, the Chinese army was invading northern India. I was booked to leave for Bombay a few days later to attend Meher Baba's East-West gathering. These were pretty exciting times.
क्या तुमने सुना है पूरब का पश्चिम से अब मिलन होना है क्या तुमने सुना है मेहर के प्रेमी को प्यार से भरने अपने इस मिलन ने आमंत्रित किया है क्या तुमने सुना है तुम भी हमारे साथ साथ चलोगे हाँ चल रहे हैं सांप तुम्हारे मेहर के बुलावे में होगा शामिल कोई देखेंगे वो नजरा अनोखा क्या तुमने सुना है
हाँ हमने सुना
ये मौका फिर ना मिलेगा जो दिल ने तुम्हारे इसको खोया इसको खोया इसको खोया पूरब से पश्चिम का मिलन जो ये होगा होंगे मेरे प्रभु तब बीच हमारे जीवन में पाते ये कोटे कुछ हर कदम वो साथ हमारे रहते हैं हर कदम
क्या तुमने सुना है हाँ हमने सुना
क्या तुमने सुना है हाँ हमने सुना
That 62 gathering was East-West gathering took place. So at that time, lots of duties were assigned to me. Big shed had to be erected, accommodating about 5,000 people. Behind that main bungalow, main palace. Now there's no more palace, but behind the main palace there was a huge ground, about 500, 600, 700 feet in length. So he wanted the whole area to be, paved with earth, mud, and made consolidated, so that a big shed could be erected. Big shed could be erected for an accommodation of about 5,000 people or so. And I designed it, and somehow the other, I did such a speedy job. And he says, money is no consideration. The result is the consideration. So when I had that freedom, I could get hold of the best labor, best material, from wherever I could, transport. By hundreds of lorry loads of earth used to come, then spread out and then consolidated, and within a few days, about less than a week or so, the whole mandap was done up. I used to be there on the job at 8 o'clock. Baba would immediately be there at about 8:30 or so, and he would see me, and then he would call me, how is the work progressing? So I said, Baba, I think it is a tough job, and I'll do my very best. He said, yes, you are doing your very best. I know, I can see that you are doing your very best.
And Baba announced that he would conduct meetings of all workers of Poona, along with a few close Baba lovers from Mumbai, to plan and finalize arrangements for the upcoming East-West gathering to be held in Guru Prasad in the first week of November. And Baba told all the group leaders to note down their assignments and also select the workers they would prefer to have with them. Then Baba said, now each group leader, having selected your own, you can now leave and start the work. Then the whole hall became empty, and I was the only one remaining sitting over there. So Baba looked at me, and Baba says, "What are you doing here? Did nobody selected you for work?" I said, "No, Baba." So then you know what Baba said? "Do one thing. In the mornings, you assist Mani, because she is going to film the whole program for 4 days." I tell you, Mani would climb right on top of Guru Prasad to take the movie of Baba lovers entering Guru Prasad, and I would tell Mani, "Why are you taking such a chance?" Mani said, "No, you be here. Only help me. If I need your help, I'll tell you." And so I would be with Mani for all the 4 days. I would carry all the rolls in a bag, because she would ask me when the spool would be over, I would supply Mani the spool and fit it in the camera and give it back to Mani.
That first day that we were to be with Baba, we all stood in line up the stairs of the porch and into the hall at Guru Prasad, and I began to get really nervous. At one point, I leaned out of the line, and I saw a white sadra and a pink shoulder. So I leaned out a little further, and suddenly Baba leaned all the way to his left and smiled at me. Well, my reaction was to jerk back into the line. He had caught me peeking. Every doubt and negative thought about being with Baba was brought to the forefront of my consciousness. I was ready to flee. Suddenly, I was at the head of the line. I could no longer hide or run. I stepped up and leaned over to embrace Baba. He gave me a warm hug and gestured back at Erich, who was momentarily distracted by one of the staff. Baba gestured towards me and some cane-back chairs, and Erich, who caught every intonation of Baba, said, "Please sit down and be comfortable." My confusion and self-consciousness had dissolved with Baba's gesture. When he looked back at Erich and motioned, looking at me towards the chairs, there was full meaning and awareness of having been welcomed home, as if Baba had said, "Erich, pay attention. This is Khalid. I have been waiting for him." I love him. Tell him to sit and be comfortable. Later, when I told Mercedes about my reaction to Baba's gesture, she said, "What you experience, dear, is called divine manner."
The bus stopped across the street from Guru Prasad and let us out. We went into the cool interior of a large hall. Murshida introduced us. We went to Baba for his embrace. His face had a quality that was unique, washed in an almost lavender glow, a delicate radiance. I was still in that embrace when Baba began to move back, but he immediately stopped. I felt awkward, clumsy, embarrassed that I'd been out of sync with him. This small incident was painful to recall, but gradually it changed. It became a precious point of intimate contact with him, and through it, I came to know things, to know that his love, impersonal and all-encompassing, is at the same time so intimate, so sweet, and as pure as the love of a child. This first embrace with Baba was followed by a second embrace the next day. How did it go? Was I more successful in being in harmony with him? That was keenly on my mind. I reminded myself, don't hold him too long. So the second time, when we embraced, I moved back before he did. As the Polish comedian said, timing is everything.
We were brought over, the bus that we came in, there was a really beautiful atmosphere. As soon as you walked into the hall, you could feel that Baba was in there. You couldn't even see him because there were people in front of you being greeted by Baba. So, and Edward said the same thing. He was very touched by the atmosphere of Baba's presence and love. And it was thick. It was like wading through. It wasn't just walking up. It was like you were wading through. Then we would sit around Baba. Everybody would sit around him. And this happened each day in the mornings. Each day you would come to Baba like that.
hearts to mend. Love that is but love requiring, so for whom we are aspiring. Hear our song before retiring, hard-earned rest to spend.
After Baba arrived and settled, Erich read out the following message from Baba.
I am very happy that you are here. Your love has brought you here. But it is really Baba's love that has drawn you to me for this gathering. This love will make you experience one day that only God exists, only God is real. I have been seeing the Westerners and giving them my embrace and love and also discourses. Today is the first day of the East-West gathering. I want the Easterners to come to me one by one and put their hands on my knees, and I will pat each one. That will amount to my embracing and meeting them. Come one by one. All of you will not be able to come to me today. Those remaining can come tomorrow.
After Baba's opening message, the Poona Bhajan Mandali began to sing, and the darshan began.
मुनि मन रंजन
Well, the first day as we sat there, suddenly the heavens opened. It poured. And we were in a tent. And of course, everybody in the tent just drowned. I've not seen that much rain come down that fast in a long time. So Baba called us up to the stage, and he had the girls take us back to their room. And they fitted us all out in their Indian clothes, whatever they could find that would fit us. They opened up trunks, and all of the Westerners put on different saris and different little Mother Hubbardy looking things and Punjabi outfits and so on, and went back out to the front. So Baba already had East and West all mixed up.
And that time they'd all come, all these wet clothes, so many, and there were people there borrowing clothes from all of us, and you could see that our dress couldn't fit that one, or that one couldn't fit that one. But Baba gave us a busy time in the room when all the women came running. We always said it was Harry Kenmore that with such force he said the Master's Prayer that the rain came pouring down. And where there were tin roofs, they were all right, but if there were the cloths, things, the water just poured through.
People were there, and when they saw Baba and all that, it was Avatar Mer Baba Ki Jai and all that, Baba was very happy about it. But still, this rain really stopped our enjoyment. And somehow, I was just passing near the stage, and it had stopped me. And Baba says, "What are you, What are you? You guys are hopeless people, That was the thing Baba always said, hopeless people, I thought, my God, what have I done? And Baba said, why didn't you have the key, Key for what? To stop the rain. I said, my God. And then I said, Baba, I think the key was with you, it was not with me,
But one thing, my feelings was that why did Baba have this East-West gathering? Why? Because he always used to have us alone, and he would go to the West and give them the darshan there. So why this was that? So I thought maybe Baba is bringing the world together, people together. Baba always says, no caste, no creed, no this, no that, to differentiate people from the same kind of people, So that's what my feeling was, that Baba is gathering everyone because of this rain, to come together and get drenched, not with the rain, but in his love.
And then Baba said, why would I allow it to rain on my lovers when I'm we're having this gathering here? I'm God, I could avert this. So why do I allow this? And then Baba said, there are lovers and seekers of God. They would roll in the dust to go to some place of pilgrimage. They would undergo every hardship, striving through every difficulty. And they would do this sometimes for years before they could just visit a place that was once a place where the Master had been. And now I've let it rain on you. So that's not so bad. Just some water to clean you off. It's fine. Let it rain. And with this comparison as to what seekers do, and here now we're before the God-man, and he did say like that, and here you are before me, the very one whom all these others will strive to find places where I had once been, and you're with me. So rain is good. It'll be fine. Everybody dried off in no time because the sun was out, it was a shower, the rainbows were out, everything was out. And I remember that.
During this first session, there was a tremendous downpour and everybody was running here and there trying to take shelter somewhere. Some people took chairs on their heads and trying to cover. But I was enjoying because we were given to understand that rain during such programs or in presence of the Lord is always a boon and a great blessing. So I was enjoying that, and I don't know, without even explanation from others, I had that full enjoyment of that rain. And after some time it completely cleared up and it was completely dried as if there was no rain. And Baba's program was continuing. People were going to him, taking his darshan, and I was waiting for my chance.
And Baba came and he sat on the seat and he greeted all his lovers. And I was at a distance. And the first when I looked at Baba, oh my God, what I should say, see, his face was so glorious, so bright. I could see from all his head around the bluish, whitish light coming out, aura, which you call. I could see, and his glittering eyes with all love force. I went into trance, first sight, and I heard my voice, this cannot be other than God. He must be a God. He doesn't look like a man. He must be a God. So with that feeling, I got a chance to come into the queue, but I started shivering. My longing for God was so great at that time. That longing made me to feel what Baba is. And I was feeling in my heart. And slowly I came, I became literally unconscious. When I approached, I came near him, I was not conscious of anything. I lost my senses. I don't know what happened to me, whether I took his darshan or not, whether I went to his arm or not, I don't know. I don't remember anything. And then when I got consciousness, the person at the left side of Baba telling me, okay, your darshan is over, you can go. And I was struck like an idiot. I said, my darshan is over, but I have not recognized my darshan. How I can leave? But he said, no, you please go. Then the moment I forward one step, I started moving. I heard the voice. Inside voice came, and you are very fond of seeking God, finding Him. That very God is before you. Have another look at Him. turn your face and look at him. This voice, inner voice, came to me. And when I turned my face, I found Baba looking at me at a very close distance. And his lovely eyes, so lovely, all forceful, so lovingly he looked at me, and Baba gestures, I am that, I am that. And I was thinking that Baba is God, and Baba approved, I am that, I am that. And then I was so blissful and joyful because the feeling came, I found God. I find God, I find God, I find God. I was dancing.
When I heard about Baba, I had determined that I would take Baba's darshan 7 times, because I would take 6 darshans for his previous advents and 1 darshan for Meher Baba. Because I was thinking that why Meher Baba has left me in his previous advents, so he must pay me extra darshans. And every time there was announcement that nobody should try to have second darshan, because there are a lot of people and everybody should get a chance. First thing which I experienced when I bowed down at his feet, I touched his feet, I had that experience that nothing in the world, no object, no matter I have ever touched which was so soft and so sweet, which was the experience by touching Baba's feet. So after having that experience, I was just observing how I can sneak for my second chance, third chance, because I should take 6 extra darshans for other previous advents. So what was actually happening, Baba would give a flicker of his eye when somebody is trying to approach him second time, and the mandli would get a signal from Baba, and they would catch hold of that person and they would remove him from the queue. So now I joined the queue second time and praying to Baba in my heart very sincerely that Baba, I'm taking this for your Zoroaster's Advent darshan, so please don't catch me. Now I'm going and reaching him very, very close, and I find that he turns his face to other side. That means he's ignoring me and giving me chance. So this way I get the second darshan, and same way I tried again and again several times, and I found that every time he would turn his face ignoring me, so that he's not signaling the mandli that I am making a mischief. And this way he satisfied my request, he satisfied my urge deep within me that I should get 6 extra darshan of Baba, for 1 for each of his previous advents and 1 for this advent. So this way, for the first time in my life when I met him, not only I met him as Meher Baba, but I met him also as Zoroaster, Ram, Krishna, Buddha, Christ, Muhammad, and also Meher Baba.
Every day the program used to conclude with Aarti, and this Aarti, which we call Divya Sanatana Paramadayadhane, He Jagaduddharo, Mehera Mana Aarati Svikaro. It's a beautiful composition by Brother Madhusudan, who was the leader of the Bhajan Mandali. And he was a very good singer also. He was a composer of music, he was composer of the song, and he was a singer himself. All qualities are one. And we used to accompany in singing with him.
Baba hardly relaxed even, would hardly eat even. And sometimes, we had the rooms there, and right in the front was Baba's room. He had to pass through our room to come to the dining room over there. He had to get the breakfast ready, everything ready for him. And he did everything quickly so that he should be on time. There was one person who came and he said, "Why are you so late? And what were you doing?" And he says, "Oh, we went to eat." And he said, he was so hungry that he went to eat. And this is, "Yes, Baba." So the next time when he came early, and Baba said, "Have you eaten?" "No, Baba." "And now your whole mind will be in your stomach." "Baba, you said you shouldn't have eaten." "We didn't eat." So Baba had those like jokes with her.
I rose at daybreak and went on my way. The dawn breeze whispered and I heard it say, "Meher Baba, my Lord and friend sweet, with my perfumed breath I worship your feet." Then presently I heard as I rode along the birds sing in gladness, and this was their song: "Meher Baba, our dear friend and Lord, with our simple song we praise your great word." And then
on November the 2nd, Baba welcomed the Western lovers into Guru Prasad at 9 a.m. and greeted each one.
"Meher Baba," he cried in huge delight, "I proclaim and adore your holy might. God-man is the true man, the perfect, the pure, the light and the love that shall always endure, the same as was Jesus, the root and the bough."
One of the things that he revealed for the first time at the East-West gathering was the four journeys of the soul. There was a huge chart that was on the dais And on that chart, Baba described the 4 journeys of the soul. It was the first time that that was ever given out. And the first journey was basically through the evolutionary stages until you realize God. And each journey, right up to the 4th one where the God-man comes back to help others. And then there is the journey of going beyond that, where they're finished with their work and they reside back into the unmanifested aspect of God, which is your own self, you know, because your consciousness has no shape or form. Baba talked about all that at the East-West gathering. And later, I think that 4 journeys was put into the book, The Everything and the Nothing.
Baba asked Francis to bring the large chart entitled The 4 Journeys, and Baba explained it to those gathered.
In short, the most difficult thing is to begin the real journey. It is easy to succeed in outward journeys in space, to go from continent to continent, from planet to planet, as compared to the inward journey. This chart shows that very few persons arrive at the 7th station of Fana and come to the end of the first journey and become God. Very, very few embark on the 2nd journey and end it in Baka and abide in God. One rare one ends the 3rd journey in Kutubiyat, a perfect master, and lives God's life. The 4th journey is the passing away as God. The perfect master as God drops his physical, subtle, and mental vehicles while retaining the infinite individuality. Christ as Jesus is as he was and ever will be as God, because he retains his infinite individuality in God and as God. Are you able to follow something of it? If not, there is no harm. Don't worry about it. Jesus Christ knew that it was not possible for men to love God. Therefore, Jesus said, "Come unto me, follow me." That is all that is needed for you. For you, it is sufficient to obey me, love me, hold on to my Dharma. All this is illusory. God alone is real.
In the depths of the ocean is a pearl. Will you, bold swimmer, bring it in your hand? It is yours by right of heritage, the pearl of kingship over all the land.
The previous morning, Baba gave a discourse to the Westerners on the relationship of the drop soul to the oversoul.
The ocean, level and unending. The wave curls up, threatening, extending.
God is the ocean, infinite, shoreless ocean. Every drop in the ocean is the ocean itself, for there are no drops at all. It is all an indivisible, shoreless ocean. Once you have a bubble, there is an appearance of separateness. Here is one bubble, there another, and there another. Each bubble encloses a drop.
The wave is ocean's whim out shaking. Galactic drops each ever aching.
is the bubble. You do not know that you are the ocean because the bubble gives you an impression of individuality until it bursts. When the bubble of Anita, for instance, bursts and disappears, then Anita, as the drop, comes to know that she is really the ocean.
Its rainbow is its silent cry, a seven-tongued flame in which it burns, and burning, singing, longs to die.
God is indivisibly one. He is in each and every one. What then causes these apparent divisions? There are no divisions as such, but there is an appearance of separateness because of ignorance. Drops in the ocean are not separate from the ocean. The bubble around a drop gives the appearance of separateness. When the bubble of ignorance bursts, the individualized self realizes its oneness with the indivisible self.
The drop back towards the ocean yearned. Its rainbow was its silent cry, a seven-tongued flame in which it burned.
The drop is not, the indivisible ocean is.
Learned to die.
Another memory of the morning sessions is this loving God, very serious business, but yet Barbara had time for all these questions about our health and whether we had slept well. And I hadn't yet in my mind married the idea of the human side of God, interested in day-to-day issues, as well as the heavy-duty discourses, which I thought was, at the time, I think wrongly thought was the more important part of the God-man experience. This is what I thought was the important side of this God-man amongst us business. I have trouble in my mind marrying that with the importance also given to how did you sleep? What's your health? The human side of God was very natural, just like a family.
Meher Baba, friend and brother of all, the ocean of mercy to whom all things call, the worm in its blindness, the saint with sight sure, yourself when you sing of your lady pure. I repeated his name wherever I went, and then came the day when a message he sent. Come, dear one, to me and have my embrace, then go forth and tell men of my truth and grace. Now ever I journey the same road I came, and on my bright shield is written his name, and either you accept him whom I proclaim, or suffer defeat and depart in shame. God-man is the true man, the perfect, the pure, the light and the love that shall always endure, the same as was Jesus, the root and the bough. But Meher Baba is he called by men now.
The afternoon session began at 1:45 with Darwin Shaw reading Baba's message entitled, My Dear Children.
My dear children, your coming to me from different places and from across oceans has pleased me. And although no sacrifice to be near me is too great, I am touched by the sacrifice that some of you have made to come here. Those who have not been able to come to me should not feel disheartened, for my love is with them as always, and especially so at this time. I know how they are longing to be near me even for an hour, and how helpless they are in their circumstances. You have come from great distances, not for some convention or conference, but to enjoy my company and feel afresh my love in your hearts. It is a coming together of children of East and West in the house of their Father. All religions of the world proclaim that there is but one God, the Father of all in creation. I am that Father. I have come to remind all people that they should live on earth as the children of one Father, until my grace awakens them to the realization that they are all one without a second, and that all divisions and conflict and hatred are but a shadow play of their own ignorance. Although all are my children, they ignore the beauty and simplicity of this truth by indulging in hatreds, conflicts, and wars that divide them in enmity, instead of living as one family in their Father's house. Even among you who love me and accept me for what I am, there is sometimes lack of understanding of one another's hearts. Patiently have I suffered these things in silence for all my children. It is time that they become aware of the presence of their Father in their midst and of their responsibility toward Him and themselves. I shall break my silence and with my word of words arouse my children to realize in their lives the indivisible existence which is God. Throughout the years, I have been giving many messages and discourses. Today, I simply want to tell you who are gathered here in my love to shut the ears of your minds and open the ears of your hearts to hear my word when I utter it. Do not seek my blessing, which is always with you, but long for the day when my grace will descend on all who love me. Most blessed are they who do not even long for my grace, but simply seek to do my will.
तुम्हारे बिना
तुम्हारे नाम की माला जपत हूँ तुम्हारे नाम की माला जपत हूँ तुम्हारे नाम में सदा रमत हूँ तुम्हारे नाम में सदा रमत काम धाम मोहे कछु नहीं सूझती काम धाम मोहे कछु नहीं सूझत दर्शन की लगी प्यास मेहरबा दर्शन की लगी प्यास मेहरबा तुम्ही से मिलने की आस मेहरबा तुम्ही से मिलने की आस
And Baba was there, sitting there like an emperor on that stage and conducting the whole thing. And it was really a joy. Even now I remember how beautiful Baba looked on the stage. He was an emperor. He was so attractive and all that. And Madhusudan and people are partying the bhajan songs.
Our Lord was in majestic splendor. He looked radiant all the times, ever smiling, pouring out his love, everything. Whole day from morning till evening, he was active, patting children. He was very, very active, very, very cheerful, very, very happy. That's what you could see the radiance on his face, the glow on his face.
I happened to go to Poona to visit one of my friends. And at that time, one girl was working with me in my office. While I was talking to her, one other lady walked into the room. And this girl introduced me to her as her friend. And this lady immediately told her, "Today Baba is giving public darshan. Why don't you ask your friend to come and have his darshan?" Out of politeness, I said, "Okay, I will come and have the darshan." So with them, I went to Guru Prasad. She guided me where to go for darshan, for the men's line would be. And I went there and stood. There was a big crowd, a long line for darshan. And I was thinking whether I should have the darshan or not. Should I stand in this line? I did not like to stand in queues normally. But anyhow, while I was thinking, somebody just came, told me, "You want to have Baba's darshan? No, so join the line is moving very fast, go." And he literally pushed me. So I joined that line, and along with the people, I filed past the dais where Baba was sitting. It was just a glimpse of him with folded hands. We were asked to pass, no stopping anywhere. And that glimpse just I had. But then when I looked at his face, I had a feeling this person is totally different than the usual godmen which I have seen, so-called godmen I had seen during my life till then. Something in his eyes told me that this person is a different person totally, and maybe he may be what he says to be the avatar of the age. Later on, I came to know more about Baba, and gradually I came in his fold. I started following him, and it so happened this girl who introduced me to Baba at that time, later on, after 4 years, we got married.
मिलने की आस।
At 5 p.m. the darshan ended, again with Baba's Arti, and all left in order to come back fresh the following day.
Take my eyes away, memory be erasing, or myself I'll surely slay by on Meher gazing.
As the Westerners arrived on November the 3rd, they were surprised to find Baba already on the veranda of Guru Prasad, meeting a group of his Eastern lovers from Andhra.
God with manhood blending, but I call him break of day, where night has its ending.
Some Baba lovers who had come from distant place in Andhra, they had come for Baba Darshan, but they were late, and they were poor villagers and very poor farmers who had just enough money to travel to Poona from a small village called Chirala in Guntur district. From there they had come. So they were told that the program is over. So they went disappointed, and they went to the railway station with the tears in their eyes, because they could not have the darshan of the Lord for which they had come, and they had spent their frugal earnings. And then when Baba came to know this, immediately he sent Balnathu to the railway station with instructions that please tell them that they should not go home. They should remain in Poona overnight, and next morning they should come for Baba darshan. And Baba will give them darshan early next morning. And exactly at 7:30, Baba was there on the platform, ready, waiting for them. And they had Baba darshan to their heart's content. So this incident, to my mind, it highlights the consideration and the mercy that the Lord had for those common people. And that made them convinced that He is for the entire humanity. He is for the entire universe.
And then there was one time when, in the early morning, Baba gave a darshan on the front veranda, when all the fishermen were there. And they gave their own program, they asked for it. And they sang to Baba, and Baba, he liked music, and he would, make gestures as he's playing the drum and, dancing to it. And Baba had these other special times when these people were also invited to come.
Take my ears away, that his words are hearing. As myself I cannot stay, if his love I'm bearing. His peace and love, you say, to man bending. Dawn is fair, let it delay. Oh, what of sons
I recall an image of a young man who had accompanied a friend. He had come to India, he had come with his friend to see India. He had no interest in Meher Baba. He got in line and greeted Baba along with the rest of us, and he was literally carried to the back of the room where he spent the rest of the morning sobbing on a couch back there. The afternoon sessions were astonishing. They were held in the back under huge pandals. There were perhaps 5,000 or 6,000 of us. Baba was on the edge of a stage, and the first 3 or 4 rows in front of him were filled with his Western lovers. The ladies to his left, the men to his right. Eventually, in front of the stage, there was a constant stream of his lovers taking darshan. And the stage was full of helpers and guests, a sannyasin in saffron cloaks, a doctor of letters, the Maharani. A young man worshipped in his district as an avatar who looked exactly like Kipling's Jungle Boy. Baba had said to us that he not only wanted us to be with him, but to get to know and enjoy India and its culture. So he had singers and musicians most mornings and on stage as well in the afternoon meetings. Everything was being translated into 3 dialects. Well, just as I was settling in, as they used to say in the 60s, getting hip to the scene, Baba asked Dr. Harry Kenmore to say the Master's prayer. Well, how can I capture this experience for you? Harry would be led to a largely superfluous microphone and invoke with elan.
You are the Creator, the Lord of Lords, the knower of all minds and hearts. You're omnipotent and omnipresent. You are knowledge infinite, power infinite, and bliss infinite. You are the ocean of knowledge, all-knowing, infinitely knowing, the knower of the past, the present, and the future. And you are knowledge itself.
And Baba would look out at the benign wave of destruction which rippled through the assembled masses, especially the first 3 or 4 rows. And he would send Erich to Harry and say to him to say it again.
The afternoon session began with Darwin Shaw reading Baba's message entitled, "My Dear Workers."
My dear workers, in spite of telling you very often that I will not give you any more messages or discourses, I find myself doing just this thing, which is what I do not want to do. This is because most of you do things which I do not like you doing. I had to give you a message yesterday because you expected one, and the theme of the message was on your being my children. Because despite much talk about a Baba family, there is more a semblance than a reality of kinship among you who are the children of one Father. True children of one Father do not greet one another with smiles and embraces, and at the same time harbor grudges and ill feeling, but they have an active concern in their hearts for the well-being of one another and make sacrifices for that well-being. If you make me your real Father, all differences and contentions between you and others, and all personal problems in connection with your lives will become dissolved in the ocean of my love. you are all keen on spreading my message of love and truth, and many of you in the East and West have labored hard in this work, publishing magazines and other literature, organizing meetings, sacrificing your vacations by traveling, building halls, and having statues made of me. But I wonder how much of my love and truth has been in your work of spreading my message of love and truth. Unless there is a brotherly feeling in your hearts, all the words that you speak and print in my name are hollow. All the miles that you traveled in my cause are zero. All organizations for my work are but an appearance of activity. All buildings to contain me are empty places. And all statues that you make to embody me are of someone else. I have been patient and indulgent over the way you have been doing these things, because you have been very young children in my love, and children must have some sort of games to play. But now you are older and beginning to realize that there is a greater work ahead of you than what you have been doing. And you have been searching your minds and hearts as to what this work might be. It is not a different work to what you have been already doing. It is the same work done in a different way. And that way is the way of effacement, which means the more you work for me, the less important you feel in yourself. You must always remember that I alone do my work. Although only the one who has become one with God can serve and work for all, I allow you to work for me so that you have the opportunity to use your talents and capacities selflessly and to draw closer to me. You should never think that in your work for me you are benefiting others, for by being instrumental in bringing others to me, you are benefiting yourself. My work is your opportunity, but when you allow yourself to intervene between you and my work, you are allowing the work to take you away from me. When you put my work before yourself, the work will go right, although not necessarily smoothly. And when the work does not go right, it means you have put yourself between it and its accomplishment. The way of my work is the way of effacement, which is the way of strength, not of weakness, and through it you become mature in my love. At this stage, you cannot know what real love is, but through working for me as you should work for me, you will arrive at that ripeness where, in a moment, I can give you that which you have been seeking for millions of years.
My Dear Workers was read out in Hindi, Telugu and Marathi. Then Erich spoke out the following message from Baba, and musical acts were performed prior to the darshan.
Once you have my real darshan in your hearts, there is no need to come up here to the stage for darshan. I want you to love me as I should be loved, so that one day you will have my real darshan.
It was a small dais stage, big stage was, not small, quite a big stage, on which Baba, Mandali, and his paraphernalia, all mics, this, that, and so many, about 10, 15 people on the dais itself. And I was down below, looking to my part of the work. So the Baba suddenly says, come, you be on the stage. You be on the stage near me. So I said, Baba, no, I don't look after this thing, that everything goes on all right. Everything goes on all right. So Baba allowed me to go down. All of a sudden, he again calls me. And then, so he says, you sing a bhajan just now. On the stage, Baba is facing the audience of 5,000 people. And all of a sudden, out of the blue, he says, you sing one bhajan. I was flabbergasted. I said, Baba, bhajan? Now? I can't sing. I don't know any bhajan or anything like that. No, you must sing. Oh God. So Baba, I said, all right, Baba, I will do, because of your orders, I will do it. I tried to do it, but I don't know. Sing. So just imagine, I joined one bhajan of Kabir. One bhajan of Kabir. I had heard my father and my mother play on the harmonium. I said, Baba, I will try that. And without a single mistake, I sang that. Both, musically as well as, lyrically. No mistake or anything like that. And you can imagine the thunderous applause. Thunderous applause from 5,000 people. I said, Baba, I was not singing. You were singing. I just could not possibly sing. He embraced me, I tell you. That embrace, I can never forget.
Towards the end of the day, there was one unique program, and that program was performed by a singing troupe from Andhra Pradesh. There is a special name for this program, and that is known as Burakata. Now, Burakata is a musical, dramatic narration of any story. A leader of that group who had written that story, musical story, his name was Bhaskar Raju. Bhaskar Raju was a very ardent disciple of Baba, and he was performing this for many years, and it was his 150th performance before Baba on that day. So he came to Baba and he requested Baba that 150th performance of Burakata I want to bring. Baba said, yes, go ahead. So that performance was made.
Jaipur Kaval followed the Burakata program and the darshan started.
a lot of the Indians, they were passing by our side of the veranda. The tiniest little baby, not even a month old, coming in that heat from a far distance came and brought the baby. And it's so young, and he brought, oh, this is the best darshan, the best gift that we could ever give them is to have Baba's darshan like that. And that had a deep meaning to her and to all of us. But how deeply it meant to them, to not only come themselves, but to bring their children to have the blessings of God, man.
Baba made an announcement. He said, now, Irat said that Baba wants everybody to leave quickly because he is going to sit on the stage till everybody leaves. So please leave quickly because Baba is very tired. Sure enough, the vast majority of the crowd leave as quickly as they can, but there are 200-300 people who were not leaving. They come up to the stage. And the volunteers, again, about 20-30 feet away from the stage, we formed a cordon by holding hands to keep people away from the stage, because once they got to the stage, we knew they were going to get on the stage. I didn't want that to happen. But still, we couldn't get them to go. Getting them to go was a really, really difficult exercise. You had to plead with them, you had to beg them, and eventually you had to cajole them to leave slowly. You couldn't pull them, you couldn't push them, because Baba wouldn't like that one bit. So you couldn't use any force. So we had to do that. And eventually, after about 20 minutes or whatever, or half an hour of this going on, when there were about a handful left, then Baba got up and left. And of course, then everybody disappeared. And this happened every single day of the 4 days of the Savas, this thing at the end.
On the last day, Baba had specially called a very famous singer called Vinayak Rao Patwardhan. So he says, I would have loved to come, but I've been invited to Moscow and I have to go there, and my flight is that very night. So Baba sent word that we'll arrange to get you to the airport in time, but you do come. So he accepted it, and he came, and then he gave this beautiful song.
Ah
The way he sang, he really performed very well. Baba could get the very best out of any musician. And all the Westerners were thrilled to hear this performance. They'd never seen such a thing before, never heard it. Yeah.
The afternoon session opened with Don Stevens reading the Universal Message. Then Harry Kenmore read the Prayer of Repentance. Baba then began darshan on the last day for the Easterners.
There was a group from Iran, and when this group came to meet Baba and have his darshan, Baba stopped them, and then Baba looked at all of them, all the Westerns, and Baba said to them, "Here is the group from Iran. It has come for this event all the way from Iran, and they are doing my work in Iran, and they are doing my work in a hostile condition." So Baba said, "It takes great daring to do my work." Then he looked at them and Baba said that, "Please remember, God alone is real." So these are the exact words of the Lord. And he appreciated their work, and he asked them to continue their good work in Iran.
And there would be a whole line of gypsies also coming in their dresses and all the things. And a lot of people came that hadn't come before at that time.
Baba, you see, I am working, you know already that I am working for the Nomads and this criminal tribe. Now some of them say they are requesting me to take your darshan, you see, allow them to take your darshan, etc. Is that so? Okay, I don't mind. So on the 4th of November he gave me the date. On the 4th of November in the afternoon, you bring them. I went and told them, you are so happy, so fortunate that Baba has allowed you to take his darshan. So they're so happy, washing their clothes for 8 days, how to wear, because these nomadic tribe wear costumes, different types of costumes, in the hair, the dangles up to here, and all those. So they were doing this, and then the criminals are also there, the troop. They were nomads and criminals, both were there. They just pickpocketing, extract illicit liquor. 250 persons. So they were prepared with good dress and washing and with the technical dresses. They all came in one line, and it was a beautiful scene. They came in one line. Baba sitting on the stage, 250 people. I was sitting, just standing before Baba, And one by one they came and they just bowed down. They're bowing down means touching his feet like this. This came, the conjurers came, they were bowing down. A thought came to me, oh, these huge notorious criminals, they are bowing down. I don't know how much of samskar they are putting on Baba's feet. I was just thinking, you see, I should not have brought them. They might have. A thought came to me and Baba looks at me and said, you have not brought them. I have brought them. Don't worry. I love them.
These are nomadic tribes. I have visited their huts. Each one has a photo of me. They worship me as the living God. I am in the least one of them and in every one of you. No one is low and no one high in my nazar. Because God is one, I am one. You are all one. There is no difference of tall or short, man or woman, beautiful or ugly, rich or poor. All are one in my nazar.
But Baba sent word that all my mandali should come and bow down to me. So after long many years, they got the chance to do that here. So we see all the mandali coming together, standing in the queue and then having Baba's darshan and going away. Yeah.
I came in a line with the mandali. But my dress was like this. And people were thinking, who is this? This man looks like garden boy. So yes, I took Baba's darshan in Guru Prasad. At that time, Baba was good in health, but he was appear good, but he was suffering and suffering. And I would be with him at night.
O glorious, eternal, ancient one, your face is a bright, transcendental sun. Light in this dark world, and the tears I weep, my heart may bear, I give to to keep, Creator, yet creationless you are, truth and truth's body, divine avatar, who through compassion the three worlds maintains, destroy this ignorance that life sustains. These five lights are the whirling spokes of breath of the world wheel that bears me on to death. Unless you, who are infinitely kind, break the wheels of which is conditioned mind. This incense is my love, these fruits my heart. Wish to please you, I have shaped from my heart. Accept them as you would a simple flower.
the Western women went into Guru Prasad to say goodbye to Mera, Mani, Meheru, and the other women mandali. At 5:30 p.m., the gates of Guru Prasad were closed, so that no more people could enter the queue for Baba's darshan. But these gates were soon broken down by the crowd.
Then at the end of the day, the program was over. And then when everybody was about to depart, and everybody's heart was become heavy, because 4 days continuously there was a feast of Baba Darshan and his glory and his divinity and his consideration for his lovers and his love and his kindness. Then when it was time to depart, Baba said that go home with satisfaction. And Baba particularly said these words, I remember very clearly, all of you, take me with you. These are the words of the Lord.
An extraordinary thing did happen the last day. when we were inside with Miss Krask. Baba called us in, not in the main room, he called us into a little room off the side of the main room. And he was not terribly lighthearted when he called us in the last time. He was serious, I guess. I guess he was serious. He said, "This is the last time that you will see me in this body." And he also said, out of the blue of whatever else he was saying, he turned to me and he said, "Tex, are you happy?" And I said, "Oh yes, Baba, I'm happy." And he said, "Here, but not there," which I thought was a very sweet thing to say. He had been conscious of it all the time, of course, but these small illustrations of his concern for everybody, it's inconceivable, but it was there, that he had concern for every single individual of us.
Oh, baby, and ask me for nothing. To ask is to make me your plaything. Be brave and accept yourself as but one drop of my ocean spray flame. Stop craving now for so and so thing. Just leave it to me, and all day sing my name, and with brave heart accept your dropless of my ocean spray flame. I speak my fair words for your knowing. Drop lover of mine, either way sing, so that you yourself one day will become the ocean and its spray.
This would be the last time that many, if not most, of Baba's Western lovers would ever see him. The following day, Baba arranged for the Westerners to go to Meherabad, the trust compound in Ahmednagar, and his residence at Meherazad, and from there on to Panchgani. Then they headed back to Bombay to depart.
क्या तुमने सुना है पूरब का पश्चिम से अब मिलन होना है? क्या तुमने सुना है मेहर के प्रेमी को प्यार से भरने अपने इस मिलन में आमंत्रित किया है? क्या तुमने सुना है?
हमने सुना
क्या तुम भी हमारे साथ साथ चलोगे? हाथ चल रहे हैं हम साथ साथ तुम्हारे मेहर के बुलावे में होगा शामिल कोई देखेंगे वो नजरा अनोखा। क्या तुमने सुना है से पश्चिम का मिलन जो ये होगा, होंगे मेरे प्रभु तब बीच हमारे जीवन में बातें ये कोते कुछ हर कदम वो साथ हमारे रहते हैं हर कदम।
क्या तुमने सुना है? हाँ हमने सुना है।
क्या तुमने सुना है? हाँ हमने सुना है।
Some of the Westerners' flights were delayed, and they were able to stay until the 10th of November to see Baba leave Poona and return to Meheru.
I found the white dove, as white as the foam on the blue Pacific wave. I made him a golden cage for his home, so that he would never leave. A golden cage for my dove, white as foam on the blue Pacific wave. A beautiful cage, so he would not roam, and I his dear sight should have. My lovely white dove his bright feathers shed, and sang his sweet song no more. My joy and my love fell and lay as one dead, and so I opened the door. My lovely white dove fell and lay as one dead, because he was wounded sore. His breast was crimson from where his heart bled, and so I opened the door. My lovely white dove arose with a cry, and sped like a shaft of light. Oh, beautiful dove, return from the sky, and comfort me with your sight. Return, oh return, my love from the sky, for you are my whole delight. Return, oh return, with your sweet glad cry, and comfort me in my night. Return, oh my dove, and pluck out the dart of love, or else I must die. Return, oh my love, for I've made my heart pure space in which you can fly. Return, oh my love, for to be apart means I must surely die. Return, oh my dove, to the sky.
तुम्हारे प्रेम की बारिश हुई थी जब मेरे बाबा।
जन्मों जन्मों के धुले सभी के पाप थे बाबा।
पूर्व पश्चिम के मिलन में प्रेम की वर्षा जो हुई,
सभी ने सर से पैर तक गुनाहों की माफी पाई।
अपाहिज और गरीबों के पैर जो धोए थे तुमने, उसी दया से तुम्हारी गरीबी जग से लगी मिटने। प्रेमियों का करके मिलन रहलाया प्रेम के जल से, तब असर होगा क्या दुनिया में इस अनूठी घटना से अब।
62 में प्रेमी पूर्व से आए थे पश्चिम से।
गुनाहों की माफी पाई प्रेम की बारिश से सबने।
सारे देश धर्मों ने भी यहाँ पाई थी माफी।
धोया सबके गुनाहों को तुम्हारे प्रेम की बारिश ने। पूर्व और पश्चिम का मिलन ना हुआ था दुनिया में कभी। देश धरती विचारों को मेहर देखी तुमने, माफी नहीं थी आम ये बारिश होती हर समय